The 76ers this season thus far have definitely proved that they're more than capable of being one of the best teams this season in the Eastern Conference and possibly make it all the way to the NBA Finals. 4 years now, we've been talking about the Philadelphia 76ers and the process about how good of a team they can be. There's been many seasons, several seasons, where they could have gone to the NBA Finals, especially back in 2019. The 76ers, if they faced up against the Milwaukee Bucks that year in the Eastern Conference Finals, in my opinion, personally, I believe they would have won. But that boy Kawhi Leonard said no. And the 76ers, they pretty much had revamped their entire roster with instead of having a team with a lot more depth, this team was definitely a lot more top-heavy with Josh Richardson, Joel Embiid, an aging Al Horford, Ben Simmons, and Tobias Harris. Let's not forget, too, when they also had Jimmy Butler on the roster as well. And JJ Redick. This team has been through many different changes over the last few years. But when they hired Daryl Morey as the new president of the team, this is when this franchise truly took a new direction. Because if we all know, Daryl Morey is one of the most active general managers in the entire NBA. He's made so many moves over the years, especially for the Houston Rockets. And we knew at the Houston Rockets' peak, they were very close to going to the NBA Finals in the Western Conference. And the changes this season for the Philadelphia 76ers and getting Seth Curry, drafting Tyrese Maxey, who's probably one of the biggest steals and hidden gems in this NBA draft. The guy is a natural scorer. He can play make. He can also defend really well too, and we all know how talented of a player he's definitely been showing he can be possibly one day. And that's just another steal for the Philadelphia 76ers going into the future. And not only that, but you have Shake Milton, who's definitely shown that he's in that contention this season as well to possibly be the most improved player. Last season, especially going into the bubble, him and Joel Embiid were the best two guys for the Philadelphia 76ers in the playoffs. And of course, we cannot forget about the signing of Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers changes a variety of things for the Philadelphia 76ers that Coach Brett Brown couldn't do. And I believe we've seen that thus far this season for the Philadelphia 76ers. What I truly like more about this team is that they have, as I said earlier, what they didn't have a while back, and that is depth on this roster. They got rid of Al Horford's disgusting contract, and they got rid of Josh Richardson as well too, and opened up a variety of new options for this team to go. Trading Josh Richardson for Seth Curry has proved this season thus far that is really one for both teams, and especially the 76ers. Despite him right now, of course, being out with COVID, he's been insanely red hot this season for the 76ers. The man is shooting over 60% from the field this season this far for the Philadelphia 76ers. And on top of that, he's averaging career highs this far, 17 points per game as well. And we all know that field goal percentage and those numbers may not last, of course, throughout this entire season. He's going to drop right back down in the 40s. But overall, this man, throughout his NBA career, he's been a pretty efficient player in general. And he's a shooter. And Daryl Morey really loves shooters on his teams. Not to mention, they did acquire Danny Green as well, too. And even though he's still not really playing at that level we know he can play at, he's still a very valuable asset, especially on the defensive side of the basketball court for any NBA team that he goes on. And they got Dwight Howard. And Dwight Howard proved last season for the Lakers that he's definitely more than capable of still being an elite player on a solid NBA team. He could come off the bench and give you buckets and defend and block shots. And of course, we can't forget about Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris, we all know, used to play for Doc Rivers on the Los Angeles Clippers, and that's when he put up his career numbers at the time. Even though he's out right now with COVID as well, this season for the Philadelphia 76ers, he has drastically improved compared to, in my opinion, the last few years, and it's just been a few games into the NBA season. I also feel that way too because they finally have better chemistry on this roster as well with their three best players, Harris, Embiid, and Simmons. But having Doc Rivers as the head coach who knows a lot about Tobias Harris' game, and he's helped him improve his game throughout his career when he was on the LA Clippers, that is a huge plus for this team as well. Tobias Harris really last season for Brett Brown could never truly find a key role on that team in my opinion personally. And he also said this too. And the numbers prove this as well, especially from the three-point line. With Brett Brown being head coach in Tobias' first full season with the Philadelphia 76ers, he shot just 36.7% from the three-point line. And already with Doc Rivers being the head coach now for the Philadelphia 76ers in just these few games, he's been on fire. He's shooting over 52% from the field, and he's shooting 47.2% from the three-point line this year already with head coach Doc Rivers. And in the 94 games that Tobias Harris played for Doc Rivers, he made 199 of his 463 three-point attempts, shooting 42.9% from three overall. And Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid have both been thriving right now in Doc Rivers' playing system in general. Personally, in my opinion, I believe that this Philadelphia 76ers team this season can possibly go to the NBA Finals. Obviously, if everybody stays healthy on the team, and of course, no more COVID incidents and things like this team can truly be an elite team out in the Eastern Conference that can definitely compete with any team in the league. And this definitely proves that, sometimes coaches can be a huge difference for teams. And I believe for the 76ers, this happened for them. And also due to some management reasons as well too. But this team has definitely improved with Doc Rivers now being the head coach for this Philadelphia 76ers team. I believe as well that Joel Embiid, of course, is going to be an all-star, and Ben Simmons, we know that as well. And Tobias Harris this season as well will be an all-star for the 76ers. And not to mention that, but you have amazing young talent on this team as well, with Ben Simmons, who's still growing as an NBA player. Tyrese Maxey as well, we know that he's definitely going to be a bright player in this league as well. Shake Milton is still getting really better as well. And not to mention that, but you have an amazing supporting cast around the 76ers team. And Joel Embiid, right now, he's in the midst of his prime, and we're going to see the best basketball out of him for these next few years, especially if he continues to stay healthy. But overall, Doc Rivers, as I said before, has definitely changed this entire 76ers team. And we're just seeing this in just 10 games of the NBA season. And the truth is, though, that despite it being early, I still believe that the 76ers are going to be truly elite this season in the NBA. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the basketball channel for more content. Have a good day. Peace.